Welcome to Master 79. In this lesson we tackle an ielts writing task 1 table question, all the way from the data to a full band 9 model answer. Here is the task. The two tables show the number of international students studying in Canada and the United States by country of origin in 2002 and 2003. We must summarize the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Let's read the data. For Canada, Chinese students rose from 5,400 to 7,850, up 45%, and the total climbed 17%. For the United States, the numbers are on a completely different scale, a total of over 580,000, but the total grew just 2%, and students from Canada actually fell by 9%. Before writing, pin down the big picture. First, the United States hosted far more international students than Canada in both years. Second, both totals grew, but Canada grew much faster. And third, every source into Canada increased, while the only decline anywhere was Canadian students going to the United States. Now let's brainstorm side by side. On the left, Canada, a strong 17% rise, led by China at plus 45% with no declines at all. On the right, the United States, a much larger scale but an almost flat 2% total, and its biggest source, Canada, actually shrinking. Here is our plan. An introduction that paraphrases the tables. An overview with the two main trends and no figures. Then two body paragraphs, one for Canada and one for the United States. Let's write the introduction. The two tables compare the number of overseas students enrolled in Canada and the United States in 2002 and 2003, broken down by three countries of origin alongside the overall totals for each destination. The overview. Overall, it is clear that the United States hosted dramatically more international students than Canada throughout the period. In addition, while both nations saw their total intake grow between the 2 years, the rate of increase was considerably steeper in Canada than in the USA. Body paragraph 1, Canada. Turning to the figures for Canada, the total number of international students climbed from 59,870 in 2002 to 70,004 in 2003, a rise of 17%. Among the three named sources, China recorded the most striking growth, with its student numbers jumping by 45% from 5,400 to 7,850. Indian enrollments also expanded sharply, up 35% to 2,835, whereas students from the USA increased only marginally by 9% to 5,450. Body paragraph 2, the United States. In the United States, by contrast, the overall total edged up by a mere 2% from 581,600 to 592,230. Canada was the single largest source of students, yet it was the only group to shrink, falling by 9% to 182,000. Meanwhile, the numbers of Chinese and Indian students rose modestly by 6 and 7% respectively, reaching 116,600 and 33,170 by 2003. Why is this a band 9? The task is fully achieved with a clear overview and accurate data. The writing is cohesive, the vocabulary is precise and varied, and the grammar is wide-ranging and error-free. One honest note, Band 9 here is our own assessment against the public IELTS descriptors, not a certified examiner score. That's a complete Band 9 walkthrough. If this helped, subscribe to Master 79 for more IELTS practice. See you next time.